What up, though, everybody? You are now into the Black Top, where we try to get our act together and find strength and unity in the circle of life and friendship. I am Billy.
I'm Timbo.
And I am Ray. Man, it is nice to be here. Man, just it's just cool. I'm on that nice little vacation mode, vacation staycation mode. So
Yeah,
it's
Okay.
cool. I had a few days with the family. Just
that's good.
chilling.
Yes.
We were supposed to do a bigger vacation with a lot of family, but with the world, with the way it is, and things that be, certain circumstances kind of stopped us from
Powers
doing
that
things.
be.
You
Hmm.
man, you know how it is. So we kept me and the wife kept the vacation days, and we're doing a lot of little in the home kind of stuff.
Right, y'all
So
just moved, so that's awesome. So you
yeah,
can
so
get
it's
around
been
the
kind
house.
of cool. So me and the wife and the kid, we went to the science center. That was really cool. And it was just really nice because they have so many different exhibits and so many different like little shows. And like when I went back in the day, it was just like the IMAX, and you went and just like, oh, let's go
Yes.
to the IMAX.
Hmm.
But now they got IMAX and laser shows and a 4D show and planetariums, and it was a lot, man. So it was really cool just to be able to do that and be able to see kind of my kid kind of experience a lot of that stuff for the first time. It was just dope. So we're doing
Awesome.
a lot of that kind of stuff. So playing video games till like 1 o'clock in the morning. He helped me cook. We made like these little pizza rolls,
Okay.
and cracked the egg, and I scrambled it. I think I got all the shell out. He did his best. It was all
Okay.
fun. It was really cool and fun. But that's kind of what I've been doing. What have you guys been up to, man? It's nice to see you guys and talk to you.
Yes, yes. Well, I actually did go on vacation. So we talked about it before the show. It was kind of cool to get away. It wasn't completely perfect, but I'm realizing ain't nothing completely perfect. So it's just like just let it go. Just enjoy what you can. It was nice to kind of be in some tropical weather a little bit, and then I come back here and it's just as tropical almost. It's literally just as hot. I was like, did I leave Florida or did I bring it back? I'm confused.
Man, ain't
So,
that the truth? It's been humid and rainy and uh,
flooding
yeah.
as
Oh
well.
man, yeah. I've seen some of those videos of some of these freeways that was just flooded out.
Did I tell
Yeah.
you guys about us coming back and dealing with the flooding?
Yeah, you said a little bit about it, man. But what happened exactly? Like, 'cause I
We
know at one
left
point.
the airport and it was us and everybody and their mama because we're not the only persons that went down to Florida this particular weekend apparently. So it's all of us. We're coming back. The lady that had picked us up, which is a family friend, she was like, "Yeah, I had to come through the rain and I could hardly see you." So we're like, "Okay," we're just like, "Okay, well, it should be all right." We get on the freeway. It's just water everywhere. We
What
get
time is this?
This is like midnight because our flight didn't even touch down until like 11:13, 11:15.
Wow.
So the freeway and we try to drive up to Schaefer. It's floods everywhere. We saw at least 6, 7 floods, cars everywhere. Certain people had just gave up. They were literally pulled off over on the side trying to wait it out. And it took us 3 hours to get home. And what it normally would have took 45 minutes.
That's crazy. Um,
Beyond crazy.
yeah,
So
well, I'm happy that you guys made it back because
I am too. I
it
am
was
too.
looking crazy. Like I was looking just on the Instagram like the day after, and even some of the stuff like Channel 7 had posted like this little video that showed like the freeway, and it was like this drone footage, and it was like literal cars just stuck in the
Submerged.
water.
Yeah.
Just I'm like, really? And
I'm
then it
like,
was this
Jesus,
one car, and
if we
like,
need to build an ark, Jesus, just say that.
man,
Like if that's
just let me know. I
it.
will heed the warning.
Okay. Period.
Like, it was this one car that trooper through, like driving like a Ford F-150 or something. I swear I want to know what kind of car it was. It was like this red pickup truck, and it had water all the way up to like almost coming up over the hood, but it pushed through. And I
Yeah,
was like,
the trucks
man,
could pull through, and that's when I decided when I get my car, it will be a truck because they were not deterred by anything. They was zooming past everybody and just
yeah.
going right into it.
I still got to think that all that kind of water all in your engine mount and stuff is probably bad, not overall. But they did. They was pulling through. There was a couple of Durangos that I saw that was stuck on that one drone footage. I was like, oh man, it's all bad. But I mean, some of the pickup trucks sit higher than some of the SUVs.
Yeah, yeah. And we were in a SUV that actually kind of sat higher. So we did kind of
Okay.
medium to low level stuff. It was if it was too ridiculously high, we didn't worry about it. But that was a whole bunch of maneuvering. It was just like try this, and GPS is going off, rerouting, recalibrating, rerouting, because it's
Right.
like know anything, and it couldn't follow what we were doing.
Oh man. We're good. It's a blessing. Other than that, though, was the overall, vacation just mostly
Yes,
comfortable and
mostly
okay.
comfortable. Yeah,
Okay, that's cool. Were people down in Florida wearing masks?
not really. Yes and no. It's like some people did,
Okay.
some people didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I feel that. I mean, well,
mhm.
now for the most part, mask mandates are down. I think even here, in Michigan, right,
Yeah,
for them, we don't have to wear them.
vaccinated but once again, I didn't see any verification for any of that. It's just people weren't wearing masks.
I
So
mean, honor system out here, right?
hopefully,
How you been, Billy?
Okay. The mask thing, dude. I don't know. Well, I didn't see the news when they said it. They said that people don't have to wear masks, but I was told that even though you don't have to wear masks, some businesses still
Mm-hmm.
require that you. So some people are coming into the mall and like, yeah, we don't have to wear masks, but our different stores have different mandates. So
Mm-hmm.
they're with that. So we've been dealing with that frustration.
I feel for
There,
you, bro.
yeah, man.
that's
I
got to be
made some more.
frustrating.
It's very frustrating. I made some more tapache. Finally fixed the whole watery thing. I lost pretty much half of the recipe because it exploded in the gas and suds on the second fermentation. But it tastes a lot better.
Oh man.
It tastes a lot better, and I'm slightly gassed, a little more than slightly, because we moved two organs yesterday. We had to go find our church's organ kind of went out, was having problems, so
Okay.
we had to go
How
get
long have
another
y'all
one
had that
from another.
organ?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Probably as long as I've
So that
been
long,
alive.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
yeah, man. Yeah. So we went to get another one from a church, popped it up on a U-Haul. Supposed to have a ramp, didn't have a ramp. It was
Wait, what kind of
organs
U-Haul
are
don't have a
very
ramp
heavy.
though, bro? Come on.
The
That's a
one
haul.
we
It ain't no U-Haul. It's a haul.
the one we got, man, it just happened to turn it just turned out that way. Moved it over to our church. Extremely heavy, man.
Yeah,
Things are very heavy.
it's an organ.
I know, but I didn't know they were that heavy, especially with and on the way back, on the way taking it to back to our church, I saw a lot of those cars you were talking about that were left because of the flood. People were just coming around, not people. They were coming around, towing them, and so a lot of people's cars just got picked up, and they may or may not know, and they got to go find their car. It was
Sure.
just kind of messed up,
And
but
they get charged by the day.
that's
Yep,
messed up,
they do
man.
get charged by the day. That's a good point.
That's messed up. But yeah, we
Got
got
flooded
the
out.
organ in. And he said we were gonna wait to take the old organ and put it in the basement so we had more help. But he decided, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna put it in the basement today, that
They're like,
day.
well, we got the help we got.
Right.
That, that didn't work. So I ended up having to take that to somebody else's house. But it was cool, man.
Oh
Um,
man, it sound like a day.
oh, I was happy that the sacrifice meant something to me in my journey of learning what sacrificing is and being able to come through for someone who's always come through for me and come through
Hmm.
for his for a church and just us just having an organ that works better. It was cool. So it wasn't a big deal, but I'm more tired than I think I am. It's today. I didn't do anything else when I got back home. It was supposed to be, he told me like an hour 45. He didn't even tell me till I got to church that day. So like, yo, what you doing today?
Like
Mind to
you,
mind. It's like,
like
You
you,
trying to give me
you tell me what I'm doing today.
And he said it should be like it should take about an hour 45 minutes. Left the house to go meet him at his house around 1:45. I
Hmm.
didn't get back home to between 6 and 6:30.
yep,
That
that's
was
right. I never go off of people's timelines. I just say, yeah, okay, and go my way. Because
I didn't either. But I didn't think it was going to take to about 6:30. But
right,
a lot of things changed, and I already knew. If you just telling me about this, it's not this. It's hard to organize a move beforehand, especially when you can't pay for movers.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
got to get help when we can, and we got to get this done. So that's what we did, and I'm happy we got it done. There's no more work left to do, and I did it for someone who's always done something for me and for my church home. You know what I mean? I feel better
Good
about
deed.
making a sacrifice
Hmm.
and not. I don't want anything for it. I just feel better that I've grown to a place in my heart to where, you know what, that was tough, that was taxing, and I asked God for strength, and He gave it to me, and that strengthened our relationship, trust, and faith. Just
Yeah.
me and God. You know what I mean? On such a small level, right?
Hmm.
So I was worked out, and then I'm just here today, and again, less energy. I'm not sure how to restore my energy right now because rest didn't really do it. But we made it through, man, and that was cool. That was cool, and I
Man,
didn't. I would have been complaining a lot, but I didn't complain. It was cool. It was worth it.
man, and that's super dope, man. Especially, man, because music is such an integral part. When you think about the church experience. Especially in the Black church world, it's like, man, without the music, it's lacking almost. It kind of feel like sometimes, sometimes music is all you need to kind of just turn things around. So, it's kind of cool that you guys were able to kind of get the organ, back in the church and, just, keep the music going. So I'm
Yeah,
very happy that that y'all kept that going. And
yeah,
speaking of, I guess we can keep the music going because we got the album
yeah.
this week. Tim, what you thinking? What we got?
Yes, this week we had Arlo Parks collapsing Sunbeams. I'm trying to see when it came out. It was released on January 29th, 2021. So that's this year. Um, so yeah, I would love to get into what everybody thought.
Yeah, for me, this one was really interesting, and I need to go back and listen to it. I didn't listen to it as much as I wanted to. I listened to it maybe twice, two or three times, I can't remember. But I want to listen to it again just because I kind of got something out of each listen. It was just so much emotion and so much to be said, and just the way that she was just able to speak and sing. It was beautiful because it's like in certain songs, she was speaking from a place of pain and of resolution at the same time. It was so interesting just hearing how much just feeling was in this album. It was super dope. It was like a lot of ugly and serious topics just beautifully addressed in song, So and for that it was an easy listen too, It was just something that I could just sit back and kind of just have on in the background and then vibe to, but then when you actually choose to, kind of listen to what she's saying, you can realize that wow, she's really, talking about some deep stuff.
Heavy stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
did you guys realize that this is our second LGBT album?
and then look at
Yes,
us. I did not
She's
know that. Is it two or three? Oh,
it's the second album about a third artist because Victoria Monet
okay,
is,
true. Okay,
okay. Yeah.
so maybe
but
Yeah,
three.
that's a good point.
really in that arena. So
Hmm.
just third artist, I would say.
Okay,
So
third artist.
you're right.
Yes. What did you think about it, Billy?
This thing has been on repeat. I can't wait to buy the vinyl. I've taken so many notes from a songwriting perspective, very vivid imagery. Like I agree with everything Ken was talking about. Excuse me, Ray was talking about. So much feeling, so much emotion, and then it's groovy and it's so close to the soul.
Groovy.
It's like
That's the
right
word.
next to me. It's very groovy, man.
Mhm.
It's honest, vulnerable. I really enjoy this album, man. I
Mhm.
do. Like I said, repeat. There's nothing else to say. It's a great album.
Mhm.
Yeah, how'd you feel, man?
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well, and definitely got the easy listening feel because I'm like, I was trying to think of what I would listen to this. I would probably listen to it getting ready for a dinner party with like friends, like having friends sitting around while I'm cooking or something. If somebody's into the 420, that would be. I think it would be a good smoke sesh soundtrack. I also like when I was traveling to Florida. I wish I would have listened to it because it would have been awesome to listen to on the plane. But I don't know, my phone doesn't really work on the plane like that. It's just like they say, put it in airplane mode, and nothing works. None of my apps work after that. So it's like I just kind of sit
Mm,
there. With that being said, I really did like her voice. I did like her writing prose. I like the fact that she kind of interpolated. spoken word with her music as well. So, because it's that's just showing that she's a poet as well as a songwriter
Mm-hmm.
and a singer. So, and then I liked the fact that she talked about her life experiences. For me, it seemed like she was talking about people that she's dated and the situations that kind of didn't work out or maybe did at points. It was a lot of juxtapositions between all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to compare artists, but it just really gave me that Corinne Bailey Ray type of feel. It's just like, you don't want, the subject matter is heavy, but it doesn't sound heavy because of how she sings and
Right.
how she,
Right.
so
That's
yeah, I
so
enjoyed
true.
it
So true.
very much.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 7 out of 10. So,
There we go.
Uh,
Yeah, I really liked it, man. Overall, I liked it. Now, Billy, did I hear you say vinyl on that one?
yeah, he did.
I will be
Yeah.
That's a
looking
big
at
deal for him.
this podcast when we find albums that move me like this,
Mm-hmm.
just move in a way that I haven't been moved by an album, it turns into a classic work for me. And I want to keep it. I want to put it on my record player and not have to worry about skipping a song because I like the album that much. And every time a song came on and I played the speakers, I had to get on the drums. I was like, no, I gotta get in this groove. I have to. Even if just for like
Nice.
15, 20 seconds, I gotta go. Every time a song came on, I was like, nah, that's for me. So yeah, I want to have that with me. I want to have that not just in a streaming service. I want that for myself.
And it's interesting, to speak about vinyl because I've been slowly growing my vinyl collection over the last couple years as well. And I'm having a hard time finding some classics on vinyl. I don't know if they just didn't come out on vinyl or well, classics to me, I guess I'll say. Like like the Drake album, the one with the kid face and the blue clouds. I can't remember
Nothing was
which
the
one.
same.
There we go. I wanted to get that one on vinyl because that was one of the ones I really liked. I couldn't find that on vinyl. It was a B.O.B. album, the Strange Clouds album that I thought was really good. I couldn't find that
Yeah.
on vinyl. So it's just weird, just in this little experience. I'm understanding that I guess if I see it, if it's something I like and I see it, I need to go ahead and jump on it. So with certain stuff that I'm starting to listen to now, certain albums that I do like that I'm trying to keep that mindset of that if I see it on vinyl, just to grab it. Like even this J. Cole, like if I this most recent one, I kind of like that. I liked it better than his last couple albums. So if I do see it on vinyl, maybe I grab it. I know that his tickets just went on sale. He's going on tour.
Okay.
So me and the wife were able to grab some tickets to that. So we're looking forward to that. But that's all in October.
Um,
But
awesome.
it should be super fun though.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then it's just the thing of getting back out in the world and kind of just doing things like that. Timbo was talking about how he was going on vacation. Now we planning a concert.
Yeah,
And Billy talking about just being in an environment where people are starting to be out and about more and be
and
less.
maskless.
It's just so weird just how we spent a whole year and a half just like so on 10, and now everybody's just like, okay, let's just
Now they
have
on
fun.
12. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, it's just interesting. But I guess it's a good thing, that the as life goes on, we can kind of get back to kind of how things were. I know that actually the wife just went to a wine tasting kind of deal that was actually not too far from where you work, Billy. I think it was
Where
out there, right in front of right off 14, right in front of the mall, I think, or right off 12, or yeah, 14, right in front of the mall. It was like some little wine tasting place. And she had a great
really?
time. And she was saying that it was fun, and they went and got flights of wine. They went for a friend of ours' birthday. And it seemed like really a really fun time. So we might be going back up there. Why not get some wine and actually be able to experience the different taste and and actually learn a little bit about it
And
and
take that
actually,
mask off. Oh, sorry.
man,
I'm gonna leave
no.
it alone. It's just I keep seeing little areas for it. So
Yeah, but I
Um,
mean, so it is kind of dope. I mean, just seeing people kind of step back into life. And I just hope everybody can do it safely. I'm trying to go on a vacation my dang on self. So,
right. Okay.
all
Period.
right, but we'll keep it moving. Uh, So next we got
The
an
pick possum.
album pick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we are choosing an album. This time around it's gonna be an album that we would like to listen to. Does everybody have an album?
Yes, I do.
What you got, Timbo?
Project Her by the Doja Cat.
Yeah, I did hear that Doge dropped something else.
And it's
The
doing
one
very well.
this year
Yes.
came out this
Yeah,
year.
like it
That was
just
just
came out,
what
I
a couple
think.
days ago, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Back on My Mind by her.
Back of my mind.
Back on My Mind.
Back on
Yeah.
my mind. Mine is where'd it go? Here it is. Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God by Busta Rhymes.
Okay. Yeah.
Extinction Level what? One more time?
Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God.
And I might have said Project Her is Planet Her. I
Planet.
had to go
Okay.
there. Planet Her. Yes.
Okay. Planet Her.
Yes.
All
Look,
right. Last week we listened to Collapse of Sunbeams by Arlo Sparks. That was whose choice was that one?
I believe it was Billy's.
All right, Billy.
yeah, that's
Take
mine.
take one
So
away.
you say this is her debut album, this is her first album.
Yeah, that was interesting, right? So her, right? I swear that I have heard an album in full. I guess it wasn't an album because this is
It
her
probably
debut
might have been
album.
an EP.
And that was quite the EP.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
funny.
just so interesting that she's been out for so many years and
Right.
has so much music and so many projects kind of out, and for
Mhm.
for them to just coin this as her debut album, it's like, didn't y'all say that her last album was the debut album? But I don't know. It's just interesting.
Mhm.
Um, I wonder why they kind of coin it like that.
Maybe it's her first album with a particular label. I don't know how that particularly works,
That's
but
interesting.
Mhm.
Sometimes, or at least some of the artists I work with or just talk with, I'll say, um, EPs and albums can serve a different purpose, especially for the type of music that you want to put out. And then maybe on a higher level, there's a different structure of control or vision for an album versus an EP. You might just want to put an EP out because you got some songs that you don't want to get rid of and they're good, but they might not be good enough to be put on the album if somebody else has say in it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I feel that.
And
Okay.
you may want to paint a certain picture with an album, and this is an album that you've been working on for 2 years. Some songs may come together quickly, some not. But then some more songs that come together quickly while you're still working on these songs, you can push those into an EP and then still put out new music and keep people fed musically while you work on a bigger meal of an album. But that's just my thought process behind it. That's what I would assume or think.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
find that interesting.
If this is her debut album, I'm gonna cut Doja because I want to hear her first album. But I'll cut Doja and we got what her and Busta Rhymes still left on
Right.
the
So so
chopping block.
so Timbo, what we got? We listening to Busta Rhymes or we listening to her?
We're, you doing it the way I do it. We're
I mean,
listening.
because I know how you do it,
Yeah, I try to do better though. I would try to follow the formula. But yes, I'm going to ask Buster,
Okay.
Okay.
and we'll confer.
So that'll be cool. So the
Alright.
album will be um Back on My Mind by her. And that'll be cool. That'll be something I know we can listen to. I'm looking forward to it. Um when I first heard that she dropped it, I almost listened to it. I was about to listen to it, but I'm like, nope, let me at least give it a moment and see if it's something that we can listen to. I'm on a album, I mean on the podcast, so it'll be my first time listening to it, kind of this experience here. So cool. So we'll be able to talk about that. Moving along, we are going into chapter 10. Right, we are pushing through this book. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Right, chapter 10 of the five love languages by
Doctor
the
Gary Chapman.
doctor Gary
Doctor Gary
Chapman.
Chapman.
So we on chapter 10. Love is a choice. So this was interesting because love is a choice. For one, so it's kind of interesting hearing him kind of break it down on his reasoning as to why he feels that love is a choice and how speaking the love language of your spouse is a choice. And I think that one of his quotes that he had in there that I kind of found interesting was kind of to choose active expressions of love and the primary love language of your spouse, we create an emotional climate where we can deal with our past conflicts and failures.
Mhm.
And even that, I feel, takes so much trust. Like you have to do so much to be able, at least for me, right? You have to be willing to be open and vulnerable and not defensive about your past conflicts and failures and stuff like that, and to be able to talk about it.
Mhm.
This is difficult, and having these conversations where you're really trying to understand where your partner is coming from and to not be defensive and understand that it's a conversation that's like rooted from love and not condemnation and degradation. It's one
It's
of
a
those kind of
skill.
things. Yeah, it really is, right, to just not jump defensive. And that's just one of those things where yes, loving is a choice, but love is a choice, and choosing to speak the love language of your partner is a choice. But you also have to choose to go into these conversations with a certain sense of vulnerability and trying to like leave those defensive kind of nature at the door, and that's difficult.
Yeah. But hopefully, if you've been reading the book all the way to this point, it's just you picked up the skills and the tools that you needed to have type of conversations because that's what the entire book has been about to this point.
Hmm.
Learning your love language, learning how to effectively communicate with them, and learning how to have those difficult conversations. So now he's like putting us to the test.
Hmm.
Anytime I've had to have a difficult conversation just about me, most of the time it's been something that I've started with someone else. It could have been the person that I offended or had an issue with or not, just trying to understand, this is my perspective. What do you think about my perspective on this situation? Trying to be as honest as possible. For me, what allows me to be in that space, for one, like you said, trusting the other person that they'll listen and it's not about degradation, but also it's just this uh, urgency and need to want to fix something that
Hmm.
it's bigger than my vulnerabilities or my insecurities, because the only way to get better is to fix it. If you try to hide it or try to lie or try to manipulate it, you really don't fix the problem. You just cover it up.
Right.
So just trying to dig deeper down to the honest layer of myself so that I can put that out there and work on it. And I've just been blessed to have people around me that know how to talk to me when I'm in that vulnerable state in order to
Hmm.
start building again and building the self back up.
Right.
So that's one thing that's helped me through those kind of tough conversations or just tough things to hear about yourself.
Right, right. Because that's what it is, right? Because you get into those points where, it's difficult to kind of go over those kind of things where you could have been wrong. But I would assume, or not even assume, I know that in a relationship, sometimes you can't just gloss over and do better without addressing
Oh yeah, because that don't.
things of the
It's
past,
like he said. It's like you're even doing that. You can't gloss over anything. You're not dealing with it if you do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
Mhm.
so it's just really interesting. So that was one of the bigger things that kind of spoke to me. And
Yeah.
other than that, just I mean, it makes sense. You got to choose other points that he was making throughout the chapter was, you just choose, to speak that love language, even if it doesn't come naturally. Like, if you love this person, this is what you're gonna do.
Right. That comes
You
with
know,
humbling thyself.
exactly. It's like love is something that you do for somebody else. You don't do it for yourself. Love
Right.
isn't selfish. It's not
Right.
self-serving. If
Right.
it don't come natural and you love this person, then do what, put in the work. So, and that's kind of exactly what he was saying.
Did you hear how he was like, yo, if you're not a toucher, do you have to have touch? hands, can you put them together? And imagine that your spouse is between the two. Like how he had to break it down like that. I was like, wow, man. Some people really have a big problem with that. Or some people are so afraid or insecure or self-conscious that they don't understand how simple some of the things are. If you just try.
Yeah.
Something as simple as touching. You got two hands. Touch a bunch of things anyway. You hug people all the time. You know what I mean? You'll find the rhythm if you just be courageous and try.
Absolutely.
One thing that stood out to me was that how he settles in the difference of the in love experience versus the emotional need to be loved, and the point of so much of our entertainment and media coupling the two things together when that's not how they really are, or how he feels is not really how they exist. They are two separate things that need two separate strategies to seamlessly flow together as one. And I thought that ping, that's just a beautiful explanation. I don't know how, you know, I miss these things, but like it's just being human. I just never thought about the two separate things, and I thought that was a great point, especially considering the example he gave. Because your boy
Right.
Brent, he was something else.
Yeah, he was.
G. He was for real.
I mean, but that was a perfect example, though, of that
But,
in love versus the emotional need for love being fulfilled, you know?
right, right.
Like, he just happened to catch it, my boy Brent, like you said, just happened to catch it at the right point where his, it clicked in on one relationship right as he was about to lose another, and he could have that wake up experience, you know?
That dude was he was so secure in this new love experience about being married that he was like, "Yo, doc, I know you need me to come in. I'm gonna come in and talk to you, but just worry about her. I'm good. I'm gonna be the best dad."
That's how
He's
you
like, "Yo,
felt.
the
My
best
kid's
of
gonna be
that.
all right.
Nah, we're gonna be fine. I'm gonna be a great dad, and me and this new love are gonna be awesome. Just work on her." And then 2 months, for however many months later, he's devastated, man,
Man.
because it's just but he was so sure.
That
He was
goes
so
to a
sure, man.
status I had just made on Facebook. It's like being unteachable is not cute. It's like they're not thinking that you're right about something. You don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, he wasn't unteachable. It just took something very big
Yeah.
or drastic to
Hmm.
teach him.
Got you. Yeah. That's true too.
Yeah,
It was
yeah. He was ready
Brent.
though.
Yeah, that boy had
He,
it. He was like, look, hey, look, you just worry about her. I'm gonna be good. Like, I'm happy. I got it. The
I'm
kid's gonna
good.
be
We
fine.
good.
They'll get
We
over it.
still with her.
you don't though, but you don't, and you don't even know you don't. You have to live this, and this is at the point
Oh man.
of being married, kid,
Mm-hmm.
learn this lesson, and then the going back to the point he made of falling in love is just some you just can't help it. It's just something that's closer to
Yeah, it's so
instincts than some,
instinctual. Yeah.
and you wow. And I see why some people you just have a chemistry together, but it just doesn't last because you don't have the knowledge of how to make it last, but also you don't know how to separate the two. So when it's time to make the choice to continue to love someone,
And
when that in love phase is starting to fade,
exactly.
you don't know how to make the choice or that there is a choice to make. You just think, oh no, it's just not meant to be anymore. No, there's another step that is possible if you want to continue.
Exactly. And that was the eye-opening thing, right? Love is a choice. You have to choose to do the work past the chemistry point, right? Past
Because
that instinctual,
that honeymoon
the
phase will be a phase.
short-lived,
Hmm.
2-year love in love portion. You need to do the work past that and you have to choose to do it. And I think that's what this chapter was about. And I think he kind of summed it up in a nice way,
It
personally.
did, man, it really did. The payoff is so there's been so many payoffs chapter after chapter, but now there's this huge payoff that I didn't even see coming of the
Hmm.
decision to love. I always felt like happiness is a choice, Sometimes it's a very, very, very hard choice. Some days you aren't going to be able to make it, but it's kind of the same thing, kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, tell me about all these love languages and then why they're important, and then say, hey, not only are they important, don't don't forget you have to choose it. It's just not going to always be intuitive for you past this phase. You
Because it's
must choose to do this.
because it's almost opposite from I don't want to say just that fairy tale that we're kind of taught, right? Of just, oh, love at first sight
That's
when
what it
you
is.
see
Yes,
it, and it's just,
we're taught a
oh,
fairy tale.
I love it, and but no, it's work, and it's more than that. You have to wake it up. You have to wake up and choose it. You choose love daily, and you choose your partner, and you choose understanding
Commitment, all of
and
that daily.
commitment. Yeah, it's a daily thing. It ain't. And I think that people probably really need to be more just upfront with it. Because if you have that understanding, you can kind of go in it with a certain expectation and not be so blindsided. I think that I wonder how many relationships are almost blindsided by the point of, wait, it's not just roses all the time.
Hmm?
I wonder if that how much of that goes into that 50%, divorce rate, that
Oh
that
yeah,
we hear about.
definitely plays a part. Definitely.
Without knowing how to fix it, knowing that you
Hmm.
can fix it. Fixing it is you have a route. It's okay that it's starting to fade, but you got another
Right,
route to
it's
keep it.
natural
It's
that it's starting to
different.
fade.
Exact. It's natural. You're so right, man. Yeah,
It's crazy.
I really like this book.
So
I didn't think I was gonna like this book as much as I like it right now.
I'm
You were a little lost
I've
at
enjoyed.
first, like, I
I
don't
was,
know.
I
I
like it
was,
more reading it and kind of breaking it out with you guys though.
yeah,
And actually kind of having
for
that
sure.
conversation to be able to kind of just go back and forth.
Hmm. Same here. Same here. For sure.
Man, so actually, and speaking of in that and reading, what are you guys reading outside of this book, right? Because that's our segment for this week, right? We've been reading love languages, but that's not all we read. We try to get into some other stuff too. What you
Yeah.
guys been reading?
Well, I know Billy can go first because he's always been reading something. So I'm interested to.
Yeah. That's my problem. I'm always starting books, but not finishing them. When I started, it was the laws of human nature because I want to understand the patterns. A lot of these businesses, corporations, organizations, whatever, understand the pattern of people or patterns of people, and that's how they get us hooked. And not, I don't think they get us hooked just to give us trash content, but sometimes they know just how to get us. Things
Mhm.
you don't even want to like, you kind of fall into. But one thing I have finished is, can you see this? Leslie
Failing
Odom.
up.
Filling up. Okay.
This
Hmm.
is Aaron Burr from, he played Aaron Burr in
Sir.
Hamilton on Disney.
Hmm.
And this was an awesome book. It's from the telling side of his personal story, a little behind the scenes things about how much they got paid on Hamilton and how big of a choice it was to have to turn down another job to be a part of something special. He turned down some big money as compared to what he was getting paid to because of how what he saw Hamilton can be. He always wanted to be in like or have his version of Rent, and he managed to in Rent, the musical, and having a chance to be in one of his favorite musicals, and then come turn around and then be in another musical that is maybe um, this generation's Rent. It's like a dream come true, all because he kept believing, all because he even if he lost confidence in himself, he kept going, and he had mentors that he could talk to that remind him, hey, dude, what are you doing for yourself? You know you're talented, but what are you doing? And he
Hmm.
listened to him, changed his life, and he is a huge inspiration to me, very influential. Last thing, because this album was so dope, I've been reading. Not be, I haven't been reading this because of this, but I'm mentioning this because of the album was so dope. Writing Bitter Lyrics by Pat Patterson, Jr. put me on this book a little while ago. Shout out to Jr. And it's just about writing better lyrics, using your power positions, your perfect and or perfect rhyme schemes, and your perfect rhyme schemes, breaking the rhyme scheme to introduce stability or instability, and changing up your stanzas to introduce stability or instability. Just simple things like that really make us strong. There's another language in songwriting underneath the words. It's how you use the words, how you arrange the words, and it's it's just deep to me.
Mm-hmm.
The layers of songwriting, and a lot of the things that I read came true in this Arlo Sparks album. That's one of the reasons, yeah, why I really like Arlo Sparks album.
Okay, I
So that's
feel
what
that. Okay. Well, for me, I'm always like listening to something, like, because I just like listening to books and it's just easy, on my ride to work. But something that I started reading a little while ago that I stopped, and now that I'm starting back again is, I don't know if you guys can see this. How Long Till Black Futures Month
Okay.
I. Oh,
by N.K. Jameson. It is so far awesome. It is a collection of short stories. By her. It was published in November of 2018. She is a prolific kind of black writer. And this is just a collection of her short stories, and it is so cool. I've been able to read a few of her books, and just as a fictional writer, she's been amazing. So I'm really interested to see how she's written some short story, some short form writing. And she starts this off by saying that she never really, at one point, she had struggles kind of seeing herself as a short story writer. So it'll be
Hmm.
really cool just to kind of get into it. I just started maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, so I'm gonna try to kind of go through a story or two a day, and just kind of go through it. So I'll let you guys know if I'm pretty sure that I'll be telling you guys to read it, but I'll let you guys know. And
okay.
another book that I want to read that I probably will be reading along the same times are the Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. It's something I want to get into. It should be a really quick read. At least the listen is about an hour and a half on Audible. So I'm gonna try to get through that because that's something that I've heard a lot of people in a position of success credit this book with some of the thinking that they have. So figured why not jump into it and kind of give it some thought.
What
So,
was
but
it
those are
again?
the two. It is the Seven Spiritual Laws of Success.
Dude, I've read this. This is a dope book. And it is a
Okay.
quick read. Yeah, this is dope. This is
Okay.
dope. I gave it to my dad. I gotta get that
Okay.
book back. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I'm gonna get that one. I'm gonna go. It got really good ratings, and like I said, I've heard a few people talk about it. Even I think it's the last person I heard talk about it was Big Sean. When I asked him was one of his favorite reads or one of the things that he just read, and he said that he credited this book with gave it some high praise. So something I want to give a chance to. Timbo, what about yourself?
Well, I haven't done much leisure reading outside of the book that we're focused on. But when I was on vacation, I was having a conversation with my aunt about some of the things that I've been dealing with, and along with my significant other and things like that. And she did mention, she said, women and men think differently, and it's I've heard that all my life, but it was like, let me really look into that. So that night, I literally on vacation sat up and read like 11 or 12 different articles about the differences between how women and men think. And basically, it all comes down to this one. I believe it was a comedian. He gave this example. He said, women think and everything connected. They think of all of the details. That's why when your girlfriend or your wife talks to you, it's all of this extra because it's just like they pay attention to almost everything. With guys, we think about things. We think about action. We think about what we're trying to do. And it's so hilarious because on vacation, I saw that in action with my parents. Give my dad some directions, and he would be like, hold on, just give me one thing at a time." So it's just, that was able to open my eyes to, how to deal with my significant other, and some of maybe the breakdown of communications between me or me understanding, how she's handling what she's dealing with. And so that was interesting. It was very, very interesting.
Yeah, I
So
would
yeah, that's
look. Yeah, I would assume that a lot of that would be interesting, right? Because you're taking that and the things that you and your significant other are kind of going through, then you couple that with the things that you're kind of learning in the love languages book. So it's like you got all
Right,
of these tools and like this situation now, and you're trying to use all of these different tools to kind of navigate to the best of your ability, kind of emotions and
right,
security and all of that. So it's
right.
interesting.
Yes, yes. So that's what I was reading when I was on vacation.
Okay. Well, I feel that.
Hmm.
Well, super dope. Hey, well, people out there listening, man, let us know what you guys are reading, and if you have anything interesting, definitely send it our way. But
Please, please.
from that, as we moving what to these questions, right?
Sombrero de
You know how
preguntas.
Hey, what we got?
it is. Let's see.
It's the paper
I hope,
wrapping noise for me, man. That's funny.
I hope it's a good question, man. I hope I can read my own hand
All right, yeah, you had some struggles last time.
right. What's something that never gets old fashioned to you?
Something that never gets old fashioned to me. Oh, I got it. Because it's something that people make fun of me for, and they call me an old man for liking it, but I don't care because them shits is great. Werther's candies, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm an old
love
soul
me
too.
some Werther's, man. I love it.
Always had them at grandma's. Always.
Man, I bought Werther's. This lady looked at me and was like, "Oh man, what you buying these for? Like your granddad?" I'm like, "No, I'm buying
No.
these for me. What? Go
Right.
get out my business and just ring up my stuff. How
This is
about that?
30.
Like,
Hmm.
don't analyze what I'm buying. Like, just ring it
Right.
up and
Ring
put it
it
in the
up,
bag.
sis. Throw it in the bag.
Right?
Okay.
Ain't nobody ask for your jokes.
I've never seen you eat a Werther. I've never seen a wrapper or bag in any of your dwellings.
Man, I got them
I've
shits
never
on
heard
top of the fridge right now.
what? Dude, my mom's addicted to those things. I've been
Never knew
seeing
that.
Werther's, hearing that shiny, crinkly paper for years, man. And my dad was like, "Oh my goodness!" It's like I'm trying to go to sleep when you try that clicking and come for years, man. Yeah,
Oh
dude. I enjoy them. I haven't had them in a long time. I never knew that about you.
yeah, man, the Werthers, man.
I mess with them too. I do.
There's a store dedicated to that company in Florida. Is it Universal or
Really?
Disney? But yeah, it's like an attraction. It's just a bunch of stores. You can just go in. It's German, right? Is that German candy?
No idea. It's great
Yeah,
candy.
I have. I'm
Lady,
over it. It's hard candy. Or it's
That's
also they
premium
have an
candy.
option.
Supposed to be like a big deal, man. Dedication to Mick Werther's. That's a big deal. It's just some candy you just put together. That's a a candy that transcends generations, apparently.
man, that's what I be
That's
trying to tell
wow.
people when they be calling me old.
Um, I don't know what never gets old fashioned to me, man. That's a tough one. Tim,
It is. It's
you
tough
go
for me
now.
too. I'm still. But what came up immediately in some odd way was blue jeans.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
like
that.
I still wear a pair of blue jeans.
See,
There are people
that
that wear.
goes in waves, right? I think that blue jeans are always kind of in. I think that the cut is the thing that kind of comes in and out of style,
Right.
right?
That definitely switches up.
Yeah.
Got you. Um, there's something to me, it's something about me that just is very close to my heart is writing. Writing on something. I would rather turn my phone off. I can take notes in my phone, like a pad or anything or something like that. But I just like writing things down
I feel
that
that.
matter. It's just something about pen and paper, man. But I don't write for anything unless it's what I want to. I write on things at work, but other than that, I don't write. It's all on a screen.
Hmm.
But when it comes to writing, that's personal to me. It's just got on paper. So maybe that. That's
It's
all I got.
interesting that you say that, right? Because you say writing and being old fashioned. What about cursive, right? Like
Oh yeah. That
I was,
I
yeah.
don't know. I always had a love-hate relationship with it. It's pretty, but my cursive is not that great. It's never ever really been that great. But I can still write in cursive though. Like it's not a lost art on me.
Right.
So
But I don't think that is something that they teach in school
yeah,
now.
they don't teach it anymore. It's they
How are
just let.
kids supposed to know how to sign something? Or do you not
That's
sign?
the part. I don't know. Maybe they. I think parents have been working individually with their kids to develop a signature. But other than that, yeah.
I wonder if signatures will evolve over the years without cursive being taught in school.
hmm
They
I
kind
was
of
wondering about it.
already are. You can sign something with an electronic pen. You know, if we've had that for so long, I'm pretty sure we're branching to something bigger.
I feel that.
Well, maybe bigger is not the right term, but you get the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that those are all your answers.
Yeah.
Uh, Folks at home, if you have any answers, please let us know. If you have any questions, please let us know. You can reach us where?
Blacktopasylum at gmail.com. I always say that. Just send it to the y'all.
There you go.
Awesome. If you like the content, please let us know. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, the Black Top is not closed.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Have a good night, y'all.